Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Night Ghost Rider broadcast. I am Ghost. Welcome in. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a good weekend. Hope everybody's having a good weekend, or as good as you can for those that have to work. But I'm here. I'm ready to go. I've been gone for a little bit over a full day now. And I kind of took a break last night because I needed to get some rest because I was going to have to wake up early to drive to baseball today. You might ask, how did baseball go, Ghost? Well, we split games. We won the first game, or we lost the first game, won the second game. I scored the tying run in the second game on the guy 2 batters behind me hit a 3-run home run that gave us a 2-run lead. So there was some excitement there. I had a better second game at the plate. First game, I ended up striking out, but it was good at bat. Fouled it straight into the catcher's glove. I think I had a weak ground ball, blew out to left. I think I had one more at bat. But in the second game, I started the game off with a double. Popped out to the right fielder. It should have been a fucking hit, or he dropped it. And then I got an infield single, and then I got a single with 2 outs in the top of the 7th to put base runner. I was the tying run. Put a base runner on, and then I stole second base. So it was good. I played a great shortstop today. But yeah, it was fun. I say this every time, but I'm so glad I'm playing baseball again. There is a chance that I fly to my games coming up shortly. That will be cool. That'll be cool. But anyway, since I went live, and I'm currently eating dinner, we're going to do react content. There's a couple videos that we can react to. So, SecondThought has a video We'll look at what JT's doing. Carter did a video. Where's it at? Where is it at? Was here. Carter's video is talking about how content creators seem to all be Mormons. Uh-oh. Shit. There it is. Mm-hmm.
What if I told you that all...
So we'll look at those two videos first. Oh, there's actually a Jon Stewart video that we can react to.
Please welcome back.
So we'll do JT's video to start, and then we'll do Jon Stewart first. There's a Jon Stewart video. He sits down with Bill O'Reilly, and then we'll kind of go from there. So anyway, let me get everything set up. All right. Do ethical reacts here. So let me copy and paste. And pin it. There we go. All right, so first video is Jon Stewart sitting down with Bill O'Reilly. This should be fun. Jon Stewart usually shits on Bill O'Reilly right to his face, so it should be a good time. All right. All right, get right into it. Turn off the background sound. So this was posted 11 days ago. So that is the 17th. So the show was on the 15th. The assassination attempt was the 13th. So Bill O'Reilly is fucking talking out of his ass here because they don't know shit about the shooter at this point. Still don't know shit about the shooter. And like, fucking hate conservatives. They just fucking throw shit at a wall and then you're supposed to take it seriously when there's like no fucking evidence for anything. Yeah, he might have had mental illness, but we don't know that shit yet. I mean, to be fair, the assassin was a registered Republican, so that's definitely some kind of mental illness. Wait, he's literally describing himself, chat. So Bill O'Reilly had been so vociferously for hatred for certain people that a doctor who performed abortions was literally killed because of his rhetoric. The doctor is known as Dr. Tiller. Dr. Tiller. So this article is from 2010. Nearly a year and a half after the murder of Kansas abortion provider George Tiller, MSNBC is airing the documentary The Assassination of Dr. Tiller, detailing the events leading to the crime. Scott Roeder, 52 of Kansas City, Missouri, was found guilty of the first-degree murder of Dr. George Tiller last January. On the witness stand, Roeder admitted that he shot Tiller in the head, saying it was in defense of the lives of unborn children. Tiller is one of the nation's few late-term abortion providers. The MSNBC documentary includes interviews of eyewitnesses of the murder, trial footage, never before seen of Tiller's talking, a video of Tiller talking about an attempt on his life, an interview with Roeder's ex-wife, Lindsay. She traces Roeder's path from his anti-abortion stance to murder, his obsession with Paul Hill, the man convicted and executed for murdering Florida abortion provider John Britton, and his communication with Rachel Shelley Shannon, the one it was hard to live with. Lindsay Roeder said Lindsay Roeder in the film. Despite the verdict against Roeder and his life sentence, Tiller's former coworkers continue to seek justice. In the documentary, they lay responsibility not on Roeder, but on anti-abortion activists, who they believed called the atmosphere of hatred and have targeted the clinic for years. Doctors and nurses who worked with Tiller recount on camera intimidation tactics aimed at anyone associated with the clinic. We were under siege the whole time. The anti-abortionists who don't carry guns definitely incite the ones who do, one of Tiller's fellow doctors said. Rivas specifically singles out Operation Rescue, an activist group who posted clinicians' name, photographs, and profiles online. Operation Rescue filed numerous complaints against the Tiller's clinic with the Kansas State Board. The group takes credit for bringing Tiller's abortion practice into the national spotlight, particularly on Fox News' O'Reilly Factor. Host Bill O'Reilly talked about the doctor numerous times, sometimes calling him Tiller the baby killer. Bill O'Reilly literally fomented the fucking hatred that he's talking about. It's so fucking frustrating to see these fucking dumbasses say, oh, hatred is what pays the coffers, when they literally made their entire career off of hatred. God fucking damn it. It's so fucking frustrating to see these fucking assholes make so much money off of hatred and melting your grandparents' brains. Bill O'Reilly also had over $30 million of sexual assault settlements at Fox News, which is why they got rid of him.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I want to make this point because Stewart and I
Hello,
have
Angel.
a history.
Hello.
All right, we go back.
With racist, but like sort of agree to disagree. Maybe I'm missing the point. No, that's exactly what he's saying. He's saying we shouldn't call out people being racist and people being Nazis. He's saying to just kind of let it go. Also, notice he's talking about hatred from only one side of the aisle, you know, calling out racists and Nazis, and not talking about, Fox News hosts calling people baby killers and shit. Notice he's not talking about that. I don't know if you were in here earlier, Angel, but Bill O'Reilly is directly responsible for the murder of a abortion doctor, Dr. Tiller, in 2009. He kept calling the doctor Tiller baby killer, and the doctor was murdered. What? Yeah. It is fucking insane that he goes from saying, actually, we should stop. We should have arguments in good faith, and then immediately makes a bad faith accusation on Biden. He claimed that Biden said that Trump was the fucking Third Reich. No, Biden said that Trump had Hitlerian quotes. Remember what I was talking? Remember how he's just saying we should have conversations in good faith? Of course he goes and fucks it up. Right idea, but no execution. Yeah, which is why I honestly hate liberals more than I hate conservatives. Because liberals say all the right things, but they don't actually do anything when they have power. Which we will. Sane and fact-based, Bill O'Reilly just described himself as. I just don't have words. It's just fucking la la land that they live. Seeing in fact base as he puts words in Biden's mouth. Yeah, exactly. So I've talked about it over the last couple weeks on stream. Sane or seeing? Sane. He's seeing in sane in fact based. Hi, Kiko. But I've been going on dates with this girl who's admitted she was a conservative. Fuck, the first date she brought up politics, the second half of the date. And I told her my perspective. She sat there and listened to me and understood my perspective and saw where I came from. Kiko, you just changed your color like that? And I'd say that was good faith. But she told me that her previous relationship, she couldn't really have an opinion of her own. And she's like, does that affect you? I'm like, I don't give a shit what your opinion is. Your opinion better be based in facts and evidence, though. Which is basically me saying that if you're conservative, your opinions are usually dog shit. I didn't say that part. I didn't say that part out loud. But I was thinking that. Because there was literally a Reddit post saying like, hey, us on the right don't exactly have evidence or facts on our side. So like, what are we going to do? So, speaking of which, the first game umpire today was spewing some fucking bullshit. So we were talking about EVs because my car got hit by a fucking foul ball. Yeah, it got hit by a foul ball. I was pissed. And he's like, oh, well, I hear that GMC and Ford. I thought politics was against TOS. What? That fucking sucks. You're just going to change your colors every message now, Kiko? Why would politics be against TOS? Are you saying for dating? Because, like, we definitely violated that rule in the first date. So the umpire, I was talking about my EV, and I said, yeah, it's fine, but, like, once GMC and Ford starts making their EVs and everything, what's up, Blake? That the EVs are going to kind of take off, and I have a Tesla, for those that don't know. Or, like, you can't get too deep into it. Wait, I've always heard that. Have people been telling me that to not talk about it? That's crazy, Angel. No. We could talk about fucking politics here. That's literally what my stream is. Also, Hassan is like one of the biggest content creators and literally just talks about politics. So anyway, finishing what I was saying. So the umpire goes to me, he goes, oh, well, you know, GMC and Ford, they're like taking money away and resources away from their EV shit. I'm like, that's not what I heard. I'm like, I guess we have different sources or whatever. He goes, yeah, I watch the Business Channel. I wanted to say to him, like, oh, the Business Channel, which is fucking funded by fossil fuel companies. I wonder why they would be saying that shit. No, like other people. I mean, it's up to like the individual streamers if they're talking politics or not. I mean, it's in my description to talk politics. I'm very confused, Angel. TOS violations are like dead bodies, open like homophobia, transphobia. I'm confused too. Advocating like death threats and shit like that. That's like TOS. I mean, for the most part, you can talk about anything here. Well, like, for example, friend of the community, Jake Jardashian, he doesn't talk politics on his stream. So if it ever gets brought up, he's like, we don't talk about that here. I mean, maybe somebody said it to make sure. Streamers have been telling me that politics is against TOS and to not get them banned. I mean, maybe they're misinterpreting terms and services. Because we talk politics here constantly, Angel. We talk politics literally constantly in this stream. There's a category for politics nowadays. There's a category for politics, which is why I was confused now. Yeah. So anyway, later in the game, the umpire is talking about the forest fires that are in the Pacific Northwest. We did a whole political skit about cum extraction. That is true. That is true. If you watch our stream from Friday, we literally did Israel cum extraction skit. So my later at bat, he's talking about the fires and everything. He's like, oh, actually, the reason that the fires are happening is because of the fucking liberal government and the environmentalists not allowing logging companies to just clear out all the trees. Back in the 80s, back in 88, we were allowed to clear out all the trees and everything. It's probably because they're scared that politics talk will get people riled up and therefore cause TOS violations when fireworks start. Probably. But yeah, he's like, oh, we used to clear all the trees. There wouldn't be any fires anywhere, blah, blah, blah. And then later in the at-bat, so I'm like, the government here is literally working with the logging companies and the environmentalists. Like, it's not just the environmentalists. Also, the logging companies are like some of the most progressive businesses in the fucking world because they understand if they don't replant the trees, they don't have a business anymore. So I'm like, are you fucking... I'm in the box. I'm in the box getting pitches thrown at me, and I'm saying this shit, right? So then he goes, oh, yeah, then the climate change, blah, blah. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This umpire knows that my previous job was a meteorologist. But, like, he doesn't even know the right conservative talking points. He's claiming that climate change isn't real. Conservatives have moved on from that talking point to acknowledging climate change isn't real, but it's not as bad as we think it is. And if it is happening, who gives a shit? He's like 5 to 10 years behind on the fucking conservative talking points. One, the fires are from global warming. No. Like it's getting hotter and drier. So everything is brush waiting to go up. No. I was going to say to that part if we talked about it. That it's not anthropogenic. Yes. No, they acknowledge it's anthropogenic, but they won't say it. So also I wanted, and he was talking about like forest management and stuff. I'm like, the forest management has been defunded out the ass, and that money has gone to fucking cops and shit. So they used to do controlled brush fires to control the wildfires back in the day. So that's what they did. The other problem with doing controlled burns nowadays is the population explosion within these areas that are usually have forest fire. You can't do a controlled burn because there's literally people living there. That's another reason that the wildfires are more dangerous than they were nowadays. Also, there's widespread news and everything. We can actually hear and film all these wildfires. It's so fucking stupid. Yeah, the military base near me does controlled burns fairly often. Yeah. It's so fucking frustrating. They're so goddamn stupid. And I was gonna talk to him the next inning, but I chickened out because I didn't want him to squeeze our zone. Because our pitcher was kind of struggling. But it was so fucking frustrating because he was just this fucking old guy that doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about and sits there and watches Fox News all fucking day. They're so dumb. We drove by a lot of wildfires going through the Midwest and California. Yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit more than a handful going on in the Pacific Northwest right now. The fringe people. Trying to bring the fringe people in. Brother, the fucking Republican Party is the fringe. The Republican Party is so close to Nazism that like a majority of their council have said Nazi-like shit. I was told that on Marine bases in California, they will set up controlled bushfires. If the fire goes outside the fence perimeter, instead of putting it out, they will call the local fire department to take care of it, even if it passes like 3 meters outside the perimeter, because Marines only care about the Marines. Yeah, I mean, that's the most American shit ever. Also, I'd imagine that the local fire department is actually significantly better at fighting fires than Marines are. Because as we established, as is canon on the broadcast, Marines are crayon eaters. Self-admitted crayon eaters, by the way. Why is Stewart bringing this carcass back into the limelight? Because Stewart likes to fucking shit on this guy. Because Jon Stewart loves shitting on this dude. That's why that's happening. As a military brat myself, yes, Marines are crayon eaters. Yeah. If you weren't, I don't think you were here in the community at the time, but Kiko and I were playing Helldivers. And another player on our team's name was Semper Fi, and I kept killing him. And I felt bad about it. I'm like, oh, poor crayon eater, blah, blah, blah. And Kiko was like, what do you mean by crayon eater? He's like, no, they eat crayons because they're not intelligent. So then we riffed on it. And I go, dude, Semper Fi is so fucking poor. He can't even eat like Crayola. He has to do generic brand crayons to eat. And Kiko's like, oh yeah, roses. And like the fact that he knew the generic brand of crayons, immediately I fucking lost it. And then we riffed on it for like another 10 minutes. I need to make a YouTube video out of it because it was so fucking unhinged. It was so funny. Crazy art is another. That's good to know. That's good to know for future. Cornell West is based, by the way. Cornell West is awesome. Wait, so is it Kiko or Keko? I think it's supposed to be Keko, but I say it both ways because I'm a dumb American. I've been saying Keko in my head. I'm pretty sure it's Keko, but I'm a dumb American, so I'm not cultured. He also had to change his name. Fun fact, Keko had to change his name. You got it right, Keko. Yeah, Keko had to change his name because his original Twitch username was Spank Me Immediately. He went live on his first stream and Twitch immediately sent the message, "Hey, you need to change your message." Goes to Angel 1. That's fine, Angel. I'll take the L's. But yes, Keko's original name was Spank Me Immediately. So if you hear that in the community, that's what we're talking about. And also another lore for Keko, he does Jav porn too. He doesn't actually do Base Name Keko. Yeah. He doesn't actually do Jav porn, but that's just kind of the running bit through this community. The gas prices are bullshit. The gas prices were so bottom of the barrel during fucking COVID because nobody was traveling. The gas prices are bullshit. Also, I'm pretty sure food prices were pretty low too because people weren't really going out and buying food. Also, food prices going up 20% is greedflation.
Yeah,
prices are going up.
Drug ODs up 36%. Okay?
That's because people can't pay for shit. Oh my fucking God. What the fuck is fucking wrong with them?
Car insurance 125% up. These are folks. They have to spend that money.
Listen,
Car insurance is up because fucking for-profit insurance companies are gouging the living shit out of people. And then they're claiming that it's a supply issue problem. The supplies are fucking fine. The supplies have been fine for about 2.5 years now. So insurance companies saying that, oh, we're low on supplies, that's why the price has to go up. They're fucking full of shit. I had a Progressive car insurance policy for the first basically 2 years of my car when I got back from the island. I paid $500 fucking dollars for insurance my first 6-month period. It went all the way up to $950 fucking dollars. I said to them, I'm like, why did it go up this high? This is bullshit. They said, oh, that's just what the prices are. Like, the supplies are down. I'm like, your company publicly admitted $4 billion the last quarter. $4 billion. $4 billion in a quarter. You're making money hand over fist for no fucking reason. I fucking hate this greedflation bullshit. And, like, people need to start calling it out and recognizing for what it is. The inflation is not, oh, supplies are higher. There's not, or supplies, things are a little bit harder to get to. No, it's fucking corporations bending you over the barrel and taking you to town. They won't even buy you dinner. $4 billion, this is why people are going into poverty and can't afford everything? Yeah, exactly. Zing. Yeah. Once again, nothing really fucking accomplished. But shit's on Bill O'Reilly and he's never going to change his head or change his mind on anything. Okay. I got scheduled for work tomorrow. Oh, I burned so many calories at baseball today that I'm gonna have to eat so much. I think I lost some brain cells with that one. Well, welcome to the brain rot that is fucking politics. I mean, it sounds like you've been involved with it, but all right. So anyway, we're gonna switch on over to Second Thought. Posted a video called "Why Democrats Never Get Anything Done." On this channel. On this Twitch channel, we are big fans of JT and Second Thought, as well as all the other guys on the D program, Hakeem and Ugopnik, who do wonderful, wonderful work. The Deprogram is a podcast where JT, Ugopnik, and Hakeem talk about the history of socialist and communist attempts, as well as the history of fascist regimes, and kind of talk about theory and everything. Highly, highly recommend it for anyone that might be interested in that stuff. I'm not telling you that to convert you. However, if you do convert to that ideology, it'd make the world a better place, in my opinion. But yeah, so here's the video link. Please all give it a like. Second Thought is made in the tunnels of content warning. Yeah. Anyway, so here's JT.
Second Thought is a 100% viewer-funded operation. If you'd like to help support the channel
Here's
and
JT
get some
talking
great perks
about
while
it.
you're at it, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/secondthought.
Quick disclaimer, we wrote this episode weeks ago before Biden dropped out of the 2024 presidential campaign, so please excuse any discrepancies that arise. That's a good disclaimer.
Hey, isn't it weird how every time Congress is about to pass some decently progressive bill, there's always one or two Democrats suddenly ready to come out of the shadows and tip the scales against it? It's not a coincidence. And as much as Biden complains about it, he actually prefers it that way. "2024 is an election year, and unfortunately for Biden, his approval rating is in the toilet. I won't go through his whole track record, but just to refresh your memory, Biden promised a $15 minimum wage. Didn't deliver. He promised to enshrine the federal right to abortion. Didn't do that either. He promised to cancel about $10,000 of student debt per person, and ultimately came in way under that number. And then, of course, you have the recent stuff with the southern border, where Biden's being far more xenophobic and draconian than most Republicans, even after calling Trump out for the same thing and promising..."
Have y'all heard the speculation that Biden is dead? That's why he dropped out. My coworker said something the other day. Yeah, there was a reporter at the Daily Mail that claimed that they saw that they had information that Biden had a more serious condition in Las Vegas, and it wasn't COVID. But Biden's not fucking dead. He literally gave a live address. He literally gave a live address the other day. If he was dead, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have been able to give the speech that he gave the other fucking day.
promising to put a stop to the border wall, which he also didn't do. You get the picture, but politicians never keep their promises, so no one's really surprised. Even now, as we're hearing the Biden campaign make basically the same promises because, trust me, this time is going to be totally different. They just needed more time. Now that he's on the campaign trail, Biden is mostly pinning the blame for this sort of stuff on Republicans.
I was very confused when she said, I was like, I'm sure there'd be more uproar, but also, it would outdo Trump getting shot. Yeah. But also, if Biden was dead, why wouldn't you have Kamala Harris become the president? Because once she becomes president, she gets the incumbent advantage. So why the fuck would you prevent her from getting the incumbent advantage? Conspiracy theories are fucking stupid. And they ruin it when there's actually conspiracies that are fucking happening.
It's time to rally every
Hi, Derry.
last Democratic voter behind him, and with a solidly Republican House and a sort of blue Senate at the moment, the reason things like that border bill didn't get through was because it was blocked by a strong Republican opposition. So it makes sense that Biden is really keen on making them look like obstructionists. But that really doesn't explain all the broken promises. For about 2 years, Biden and the Democrats had all the power you can get in American politics. The presidency, the Senate, and the House. Everything swung blue in 2021.
That's some serious power, chap. That's some serious power, just like the power to implement a top-of-the-hour ad break. Because the top of every hour, run a 3-minute ad to prevent pre-roll ads for any new viewers. If you want to avoid the ads, you can pay $6 for a subscription, or get lucky and get gifted sub. Or you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, get a free monthly subscription from Daddy Bezos, or your favorite streamer. Hopefully it's me. If it's not me, hopefully it's Derry, or Kiko, or Plank when Plank's affiliate goes through. But I'm going to run a 3-minute ad break now. If you're stuck behind an ad, please use the emote NegGo ad, and we'll wait for you.
People elected Biden on a pretty tame set of progressive promises.
It has now. Congrats, Plank. Okay, we'll wait. We'll wait for Angel now. Hi, Derry. How am I? I'm good. Kiko doesn't have a fucking ad. You're subbed. You fuck. I'm good, Derry. Played 2 baseball games today. We won the second game. Derry, you have a sub too. You guys suck. You're abusing the emote. If you're gonna abuse an emote, you need to use this emote. You need to use that emote. That's the emote you need to abuse. But yeah, Derry, I'm good. We played 2 games today. We lost the first game. 1 of 8. Two minutes left. Came to say hi. Well, I appreciate you coming to say hi. What song was it that you were humming? Name it now. Immediately name the song. I don't fucking know. I was just fucking humming shit. I'm gonna go drink with Jake and stream. Oh shit, Derry. Have fun. Also, Kiko. I still have Kiko fight in my better TTV emotes right now. Fuck. Trying to add an emote. Trying to add adage. But the problem is that Sag and Madge is also a thing. Oh, it's FFZ? I could do that. I think I got room for FFZ. 30 more seconds, chat. The Olympic Committee has made it almost impossible to watch the Olympics, it seems. Yeah, no shit, Kiko. That's literally how it works. They make it exclusive so that, like, only certain people can watch it. It's also not the Olympic Committee. It's fucking NBC. Back. Welcome back, Angel. Welcome back.
Ostensibly gave him and the Dems all the levers of power to make them happen and a good chunk of time to deliver. And instead, we got years of disappointment, watered-down proposals, and a we believe in climate change Democratic Party that's somehow still churning out alarming numbers of new fossil fuel permits.
Yep.
And
also, I remember at the beginning of Biden's presidency, they were calling him the next FDR, which the beginning was promising. It was very promising. But then obviously he fucking bungled the ball and, you know, all that shit.
to explain all that, we heard a very familiar excuse. Back in 2021, for example, Biden said this.
I hear all the folks on TV saying, why doesn't Biden get this done? Well, because Biden only has a majority of effectively 4 votes in the House and a tie in the Senate, with 2 members of the Senate who vote more with my Republican friends.
The parliamentarian. It's not gonna. They're not gonna let us do anything. Guess what? You can fire the parliamentarian and bring in a parliamentarian that's actually gonna do stuff. It was much more clear even 4 years ago. Yeah, it's crazy. You should see Biden eviscerate fucking Paul Ryan in the vice presidential debates. It was so good.
But we're not giving up.
It's nothing we haven't heard before. When progressive bills die in the Senate, the story is always more or less the same. Liberal outlets and Twitter accounts start blasting whoever it was that flipped the last vote, whether that's a mansion or a cinema. Biden delivers a passionate, somebody really should do something about this, not me, speech. And that's either the last you ever hear about it, or 10 months later the bill has a new name, $10 billion in extra defense spending tacked on, and hardly anything left from the original. This sort of thing has been happening for a long time, and it's not without consequence. If you've been following politics for a bit longer, you might remember guys like Joe Lieberman, who, like Manchin today, sort of made being the Democratic Party's rotating villain his whole personality. He's dead now.
Yeah. Lieberman fucking sucked. He prevented anything good from fucking happening. He was literally the reason that, one, Obama should have fucking passed Medicare for All instead of passing the Affordable Care Act, which was a Heritage Foundation Romney bill. He wanted it to come from the Heritage Foundation, so he'd make it bipartisan. But he should have just fucking passed Medicare for All because he had a supermajority in the Senate and a lot of votes in the House. But instead, he tried to pass a right-wing bill, and then guess what? Republicans, just fucked everything up and didn't allow it to be passed. That's how it always works. Daily check-in, everybody drink water, eat, take meds if you have them. Agreed, Angel, please, everyone, make sure you drink some water, eat some food, and take any meds if you have them.
If you don't remember him, Lieberman was famous for a few things. Being aggressively pro-Iraq war until the day he died, and back in 2009, rejecting Obama's plan to include a public option in Obamacare. The public option would have been a federal health insurance system that could compete against private insurance and drive prices down. In very simple terms, it would have made healthcare cheaper and made private insurers lose money. It's not quite abolishing private insurance the way Bernie's Medicare for All plan would have, but still, it was something. Anyway, in 2009, the Democrats had the votes in the Senate to pass the...
He probably never intended to. Obama would never intended to pass Medicare for All. He wanted his healthcare bill to be bipartisan. He worked so hard for that shit to be bipartisan that he took a bill that put money in private insurers' pockets. He put that through the House and the Senate in hopes that he would get Republican votes, but Republicans became obstructionists at that point. I was too young for Obama's presidency. Well, to actually have an idea what was going on. I was like 4 when he got in. Yeah, no, I mean, I wasn't paying attention either. When Obama got in, when Obama was voted in, that was my senior year in high school. So I wasn't as knowledgeable as I am nowadays. But goddamn, I wish I paid attention more back then, because I would have actually voted in more elections and, maybe shit would have been different, but probably not. But yeah, I'm a big history nerd. Angel, if you look at my YouTube channel, you can see that. And if you stick around long enough, you'll hear about it. So I always like to look to the past, because if you don't learn from the past, you're doomed to repeat it. So the more and more I learn about the Obama presidency and how progressive of a platform he actually ran on, the more frustrated I get when I find that his actual policies are pretty conservative.
ACA with the public option provision included. Most Democratic voters and most Americans were in favor. And suddenly, right before the vote, in comes Lieberman, vocally opposing the public option, threatening a filibuster, and because he was the deciding vote, ultimately forcing the ACA to be drafted without it. The public realized what was going on, that even if Lieberman could block a vote by being a dissident and preventing the Democrats from having the 60 votes they needed, like the Republicans under Bush, the Democrats could use reconciliation to pass the ACA with a public option with only 50 votes. Then, once again, out of the woodwork comes Jay Rockefeller, another Democrat-aligned senator suddenly reversing months of his own pro-public option rhetoric and refusing to vote for it because, well, the timing isn't very good.
I want to hear him repeat this.
Then, once again, even if in comes Lieberman, vocally opposing the public option, threatening a filibuster, and because he was the deciding vote, ultimately forcing the ACA to be drafted without it. The public realized what was going on, that even if Lieberman could block a vote by being a dissident and preventing the Democrats from having the 60 votes they needed, like the Republicans under Bush, the Democrats could use reconciliation to pass the ACA with a public option with only 50 votes. Then, once again, out of the woodwork comes Jay Rockefeller, another Democrat-aligned senator suddenly reversing months of his own pro-public option rhetoric and refusing to vote for it because, well, the timing isn't very good. Why wasn't the timing very good? Well, because the timing allowed the Democrats to actually exercise power in a way that would have benefited their constituents. Typically, that's good. But for the Democrats, these are very bad circumstances because they force them to either find people willing to go back on their word or actually follow through on their promise. So, why does this happen? Why?
Chat, it's called the rotating villain. There's always one Democrat that prevents any kind of progressive policy from being passed, and it's always a rotating villain. During the beginning of Biden's administration, it was Joe fucking Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. Both of them are rotating villains, but even if they didn't exist, the other rotating villain would be Maggie Hassan from New Hampshire. There's always fucking one of them that's going to allow corporations to write all the fucking bills that they want to ensure that corporations make as much money as possible. Shareholder value, baby.
Why do we always seem to have these obstructionists within the country's major left party blocking even mild center-left policies? On some level, there's an obvious answer. And like in most American politics, that answer is lobbying. Take Lieberman. Over his career, insurance companies had contributed nearly $500,000 to his campaigns. Pharmaceutical companies almost certainly played a role too, with Lieberman's wife having several jobs in lobbying firms known for being cozy with Big Pharma, and that would have benefited from Lieberman's obstruction. The same goes, obviously, for guys like Joe Manchin, who is well known for being staunchly pro-fossil fuels and killing every bill that would lessen the US's reliance on them. Between 2017 and 2022, he was the #1 recipient of oil and gas and auto industry money to the tune of several $million. And you
Also, he makes money off of a coal mine that his family fucking owns.
can say the same about centrist Democrats in the House. Earlier this year, 8 House Democrats asked Biden to lift a pause on liquefied natural gas export permit approvals. According to Jacobin, 4 of them received more than $1.6 million in oil and gas donations, and the other 4 got more than $300,000 from the energy and natural resources industry. This flies in the face of a Democratic Party that is very publicly outspoken that climate change is an existential threat. But those examples are all very direct, somewhat out in the open campaign donations. If receiving money from lobbying groups while in government doesn't sound like enough of an incentive, there's always the reassurance of the revolving door. See, being despised by your party might make your seat a little less stable, might make your party more reluctant to select you for candidacy for your state, and might...
So what he's about to say, the reassurance on the revolving door are people that go in and out of politics and lobbying. So they'll go back and forth between politics and lobbying. Usually they'll go from politics to lobbying. Like Kyrsten Sinema is 100% going to be fucking doing that. But I don't know why, because she's a green senator. So I don't know how many connections she has. But she's going to make a shit ton of money on it because she prevented Joe Biden's IRA from being more progressive and harder on taxations and everything.
Might generally attract a lot of hate you might not want to endure for decades. For those who don't like being public targets, there's always the option of bowing out and getting just a regular lobbying gig where the connections you made in Congress are incredibly valuable. And sure enough, roughly 60% of retired lawmakers land in jobs where they end up influencing federal policy for significant salaries, at least in the exiting class of 2019. That's the case for Joe Donnelly, a conservative Democrat named as a partner in 2019, his centrist friend Doug Jones, and your favorite, Joe Lieberman, who left office back in 2013. This possibility to cash out by staying cozy with corporate lobbyists matters to conservative Democrats. How do we know that? Because none other than Joe Manchin told us so back in 2021, when he opposed the For the People Act that would have slowed down this revolving door and made it harder for congresspeople to become federal influences. Manchin wrote his own version of the bill that cut that specific ethics provision and would set up him and his centrist buddies for the foreseeable future.
No way. You're telling me the corrupt guy is against laws that against laws against corruption? Get the fuck out of here. Shit is fucking broken.
Let's get back to Lieberman for a second, because the especially egregious cases of this lobbying influence are probably best represented by his group, No Labels. No Labels is a nonprofit/political party started in 2010 with the purpose of bringing together centrists and moderates in the US to grab seats from progressives. Their rhetoric is predictably uninspired and mostly characterized by calling themselves representatives of the common sense majority, while throwing everybody who doesn't work with them under the extreme header, in a country with two nearly identical parties. Anyway, No Labels doesn't publicly reveal who its donors are. As a nonprofit.
Also, they stole that from fucking Andrew Yang. The fuck? That's Andrew Yang's shit. What the fuck is Andrew Yang's party? I saw him in an airport once. I was gonna go up to him and be like, "Hey, what is your? I want to vote for you, but what does your party like stand for? What are your policy stances on everything?" I'd be really curious. They don't have an answer, by the way, because Andrew Yang was asked this blatantly in interviews constantly, and he never has an answer.
Profit, that's technically allowed, if a little weird. But the problem for them is that that hasn't stopped journalists from figuring this stuff out. And as you probably expect, well, it's a lot of classic Republican donors who would not be disappointed at all with having a few spoilers in the ranks of those who caucus with Democrats.
Yep.
Louis Bacon, a regular GOP donor, gave No Labels about $1 million to elect more centrists, for example. James Murdoch, former chief executive of 21st Century Fox, the parent company of Fox News, put in at least $500,000. Nelson Peltz, a big Trump donor, put nearly $900K into the No Labels super PAC. I think you get the idea. According to Open Secrets, No Labels has something like 8 super PACs playing with several $1 million. And frankly, those 3 names barely scratch the surface. There's a lot of demand for people willing to act as spoilers to aid the Republicans, and centrists have a lot to gain from playing that role. But if you're like me, this explanation doesn't feel complete. It's not that lobbying doesn't matter. You can always find deep wells of corporate money going to these centrists and flipping their votes, but it's just not the full picture. It doesn't explain what's in it for the Democratic Party, who, by all accounts, not only let this happen, but actively play a role in keeping it going. So why doesn't just pointing to lobbying feel like enough? For starters, conservative Democrats don't always get the most campaign donations, from corporations or in general. If the only explanation I gave you for why are they like this was money, that little piece of evidence would pretty much crush my whole argument.
Correct, but they don't give that much money to the Democrats. They give them just enough to fucking get by. Just enough to get them to do what they want to do. Because if they give them a fuck ton of money, then the Democrats would look exactly like the Republican Party. So they purposely don't give them that much money so that they could be like, oh yeah, they're the sane party and they care about the people. Not fucking true.
There's other ways to make money than to be a self-interested fence-sitter, and plenty of Democrats get just as healthy a check from being regular partisans. Oftentimes, though, you'll hear that the explanation for rotating villains has something to do with the villain of the week's constituents. If some Democrats are more conservative, the conventional narrative is that they're probably just a better representative of a more conservative district or state. But that's not what the voting records show. Take a look at Glusenkamp Perez from Washington. She's part of a group of conservative Democrats called the Blue Dog Coalition, and beyond how lame calling yourself a blue dog is, you might remember her from her time in the villain seat as a vocal opponent of student loan forgiveness.
Yes,
Quote,
I couldn't remember the fucking name. I remember this. I couldn't remember. Oh, fuck. Dude, these people need to be put on a rocket and sent to Mars. Let them fucking do these policies on Mars.
She was one of just 2 Democrats to vote for a proposal that would have thrown out the entirety of President Joe Biden's student debt relief plan, and would have also retroactively reinstated interest payments and reinstated some already forgiven loans.
Dude, fucking
Since
evil.
joining Congress in January 2023,
Fucking evil.
she's voted with Republicans more than most of her Democratic colleagues, according to Slate. And especially surprising for a Democrat, that included voting for a Republican NDAA bill that restricted abortion access for those in the military and targeted DEI initiatives at the Pentagon. Now, Gluesenkamp-Perez flipped her seat from red to blue in 2022, sure. But that does not make her district especially red among House Democrats.
I guarantee she ran on a progressive policy to win that seat. Progressive policies work, chat. Whenever progressive policies are put immediately on the ballot, they pretty much always win. And they win overwhelmingly, usually by like 15 to 20 points. You saw with states that put abortion right onto the fucking ballot. Like Kansas, put it on the ballot and it won like 65% to 70% of the vote. Put progressive policies on the ballot. Put it on the ballot. Run on progressive policies. You win. You win if you run on progressive policies. If you run on progressive policies and then enact said progressive policies, you're going to win forever. That's why FDR Democrats, literally the New Deal Democrats, won every presidency for 7 of like 9 election cycles or something like that. It's insane. Insane. Also, we watched a video saying that Democrats had like 340 seats to 80 in the House at one point during the New Deal era, the New Deal coalition. It's fucking crazy that, like, I always say that the Democratic Party is controlled opposition because their benefactors are the same benefactors as Republicans. And that's the only explanation for any of this shit. Because if you actually wanted to win, your whole goal in politics is to make sure that you win as many seats as possible. So you can pass as many policies that your party wants as possible. When Democrats do that shit, they don't pass anything. They pass just enough to prevent riots from happening, which is why wealthy people call welfare benefits the riot tax.
Democrats, nor can it explain these votes. Mary Peltola, a representative from Alaska, for example, ran in a state that Trump carried by 10 points last election, double his lead in Gluesenkamp-Perez's district. And she never voted against either that student loan bill or the NDAA anti-abortion stuff, because she didn't need to. So if neither...
that Dem, I believe, was the one that won in the Sarah Palin district, if I remember correctly. Except I don't know if Palin even got to the election. In that election, I think she was ousted in the primary, or maybe they do a horse race vote. I'm pretty sure Alaska has ranked choice voting, so it might have been like a horse race vote, and then Palin like came in third, and that woman won the seat.
Constituency nor lobbying alone can explain these obstructionists. What does? The answer is the American political economic system. Its design and the power it gives corporations through a gridlocked Congress. We tend to think of congressional gridlock as the government not working. Gridlock, obstructionism, rotating villains, they all give us the impression of a government that suddenly stops and locks up its proper function. And indeed, that's the core of the Democrats' rhetoric. Democrats campaign on being bipartisan and working across the aisle because it's necessary to overcome gridlock and return government to a proper state of affairs. But that's not the case. At least not according to Sheldon Wolin. In Democracy, Inc., Wolin spells it out pretty clearly. Quote, "The true significance of near gridlock is not that it paralyzes governmental action, but that it prevents majority rule. Sharp and nearly equal divisions, the stuff of gridlock, are in the interest of some powerful groups who would be less influential, more threatened by majority rule. What is made more difficult by the politics of stalemate is the capture of state power to advance the social interests of the many." In other words, in a gridlocked Congress, power doesn't come from an electoral majority or the interest of the majority of citizens. Power comes from the control of a small number of seats. Control that great sums of money purchase for maximum effect and can easily outweigh what little power a majority of Americans can have through voting. According to Wolin, achieving this state of gridlock is crucial to the interest of a party like the Democrats. While the Republicans can be unabashedly pro-business, as the party meant to represent the left, the Democrats have to play a different game. While claiming to represent the interest of the majority, quote, the poor, minorities, the working class, anti-corporatists, pro-environmentalists, and anti-imperialists, they also know that in a two-party system, these people don't have any other powerful representation. There is no viable third party for those who reject putting corporate profits first. And that means the Democrats can simultaneously use the rhetoric of progress while remaining competitive by catering to the interest of corporations who fund them just as much as their opposition.
So JT has basically said the same shit that I've been saying this whole video in a far more eloquent way. Welcome back, Kiko. Oh, sorry, I left.
Democrats always need to remain a pro-business party if they want to stay in power. They also need to be seen by enough of the voting population as the only home for progressive politics. To square that circle, the Democrats need to have politicians who allow them to profess their supposed progressiveness without actually needing to deliver on it. As a result, every election becomes about winning this majority through mobilizing voters with progressive rhetoric. And once the seats have been earned, the extent of political participation for most people is now reduced to being upset about corporate Democrats and the lobbyists behind them, and waiting for the next election. Quote, gridlock establishes the conditions of electoral politics. In elections, the party set out to mobilize the citizen as voter, to define political obligation as fulfilled by the casting of a vote. Afterwards, post-election politics of lobbying, repaying donors, and promoting corporate interests, the real players, takes over. The effect is to demobilize the citizenry, to teach them not to be involved or to ponder matters that are either settled or beyond their efficacy.
So I talked about this on previous streams, that every vote counts as one. Every person counts as one vote, which is why we can take our government back from these corporate shills and these corporate pieces of shit. Because, yeah, those corporations are going to throw a shit ton of money at people and ads and everything. But ultimately, there are more of us than there are of them. There are far more of us than there are of them. So we will be able to get done what needs to get done and take care of ourselves, because there are far more of us than there are of them.
Wolin calls this state of affairs managed democracy. It's a system in which, rather than being dominated by the tyrannical majority the Founding Fathers whined about, a careful set of controls is put in place to empower a corporate minority and block any form of majority rule that doesn't align with its preferences. So under this system, winning for the Democrats doesn't mean getting enough seats to do whatever they want. They win the game of politics when they can get just enough seats to do the bare minimum and keep voters coming back without seriously upsetting the corporate backers whose influence is much more important and who they actually need to care about. Now, weakening popular majorities was always built into the structure of American government, with its electoral college, bicameral legislature, and unequal term lengths between the more popular House and the more aristocratic Senate. But the rotating villain strategy specifically lets the Democrats sit back and retain enough legitimacy by letting just a few of their colleagues take the heat for voting against policies they don't want to see happen. And to make this strategy work, Democratic leadership is highly involved in the process of sidelining progressives and keeping their numbers to a minimum, while throwing their support behind centrists they'll get to scold down the line. For example, it was recently revealed in the American Prospect that 4 former directors of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, the official campaign arm of the Democrats in the House, have been working against progressive incumbents to get conservative, centrist Democrats elected instead.
Yep. The DNC and the DCCC are doing everything in their power to make sure that progressives don't win, because progressives are loud. Not only are progressives loud, the progressives are correct. Liberals absolutely hate progressives because progressives are correct in their theory and their evidence and their opinions. Liberals hate progressives because progressives call out liberals for their hypocrisy.
This is the same organization that, 4 years ago, while many of these directors worked there, had an official policy against using party resources to attack incumbents. But the difference was that in 2020, the incumbents were the centrists, and now they're the progressives, so attacking them is totally fine. But those are former directors. The fact that they aren't really official Democrats anymore might be enough to dismiss them for some people. Much harder to dismiss, though, are the current Democratic leaders in the House throwing all their weight behind centrists that regularly vote against the party. Back in March, Sludge revealed that
Hakeem Jeffries has literally stated that no progressive policies will ever be enacted under his leadership as a minority leader or as a House Speaker. Except he literally advocates and calls himself a progressive. They like the term progressive, but they hate that they would have to actually do shit.
quote, the House Democratic Leadership Super PAC donated more than $1.1 million to a lobbyist-run centrist group that has worked to undermine the Biden administration's agenda on lowering drug prices, regulating the finance industry, and put hundreds of thousands of dollars behind obstructionists. If the party wanted to actually do stuff when in power, its leaders wouldn't throw so much money at the corporate darlings it knows will block every bill that would fulfill a campaign promise. Case in point, Hillary Clinton just endorsed George Latimer against the more progressive challenger Jamal Bowman in the primary race in New York. Who's George Latimer? Well, according to Clinton, a quote, strong principled Democrat who will fight for President Biden's agenda. According to Latimer's own
Spoiler alert, chap. Latimer is a fucking horrible person. He's a very, very bad person. But they went after Jamal Bowman because he's a progressive and advocated for Palestinian liberation. So JT is about to tell you how horrible a person George Latimer is. Who is a bad person? George Latimer. The guy that beat Jamal Bowman in his primary. So JT here is going to take the words of Hillary Clinton here, strong principled Democrat, and fight for President Biden's agenda. And he's about to eviscerate George Latimer because George Latimer was literally a Republican and very outwardly racist.
track record, though, he's a centrist who refuses to raise taxes on the wealthy and will stand behind Israel no matter what. That race, by the way, has become the most expensive House primary ever, in large part because United Democracy Project, an AIPAC-affiliated super PAC, pumped in more than $14 million in ads for the centrist candidate. And it's not the first time we've seen Democratic leadership do this. 3 years ago, once again in New York, the chairman of the state's Democratic Party, Jay Jacobs, ran the same smear campaign against a progressive to defend the party's centrist option, one of the highest-ranking bipartisan House members, Carolyn Maloney. But don't misunderstand me here. At the end of the day, what the rotating villain trope shows isn't that there are good and bad Democrats. That's not the point. Just about any Democrat can take on the role of an obstructionist. It's nothing exceptional, and many do. Sinema used to be a radical progressive running with the Green Party.
Yep.
That never stopped her from becoming a huge obstacle to progressive policies. The point is that for every...
Van Jones also used to be a Maoist as well. Van Jones is on CNN constantly. So to watch him fucking sit there and cry about liberals and shit is very frustrating. To see people that had faced politics back in the day just completely go the other way is very frustrating.
Somewhat left-wing Democrat opening up space for working-class politics, there is a party apparatus, a governmental structure, and a corporate stranglehold on politics ready to unravel their efforts. For every progressive campaign promise, you can always keep in your head a little asterisk that says, if we feel like it won't hurt our finances too much. And while a few Democrats take the heat for being the flipped vote, the party, and dozens of regular rank-and-file elected officials, get all the benefits of opposing progressive politics without actually having to admit it. The truth is that the Democrats will never be a force for radical change in this country. Radical change comes from the organized masses, and that is not who the Democrats represent.
Boom. JT with some good shit again. Unionized,
I mentioned
chat.
at the beginning of the episode that
Unionized.
this channel is entirely grassroots funded. Since sponsors don't want to touch videos like
Ethical
these,
reacts,
we
ethical
have to rely
reacts,
on the
ethical
generous
reacts.
support of viewers like you. If you'd like to help keep this channel afloat and get some great perks while you're at it, consider becoming a patron on Patreon. All patrons, regardless of pledge amount, get early access to every video, plus access to our patrons-only Discord server. We just made a major update to the Discord, with a revamped leveling system and monthly Discord Nitro giveaways to active members. We've also got a bunch of other cool stuff like a book club, live Q&As with me every month, and a dedicated educator role for users ready to answer any questions you have about socialism. We've built a thriving community, and we'd love for you to be part of it. So if you'd like to join the Discord, get early access to every video, and help support genuinely principled socialist content, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/secondthought. If you enjoyed this video, leave us a like. If you hated it, a thumbs down. You can check out our other content by following the links on your screen.
Chat.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Click on the link, give the video a thumbs up. JT does good shit, just like we try to do good shit here. All right, time to have some fun. We're going to do a Carter video. Why every influencer is secretly Mormon. Do some good Carter shit, and then we're going to get back into Metal Gear Solid 5. But yeah, we're going to start this shit. Carter is a Twitch streamer as well, and does some a ton of React videos, does some gaming, and then has some pretty incredible political takes. He's been streaming for like 13 or 14 years now. Also, great shirt. I have that shirt. No value without labor. Hassan's merch.
What if I told you that all of these influencers are Mormon? You're probably asking, but Carter, how do you know this? Well, you see, when you have a...
He had his son in this bottom left corner, but it was as his Hank Piker character. This shit was funny.
Great-great-great-grandfather with 4 wives and 28 kids, you're kind of born with a sixth sense for these kind of things. If you don't know what a Mormon is, it's a religion. And they actually prefer to be called LDS now because the word Mormon is associated with cults.
You're finally here!
Which is actually why my family kind of abandoned the church like 100 years ago. And to be honest, I don't think much has changed because I see a lot of TikToks like this. You can't tell me that doesn't seem a little cult-like, right? What's interesting is right after the last president of the church died, the new president, President Nelson, stepped in and instantly had a prophetic vision. We will no longer be called Mormon. We will be called the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints only. And that was shortly after they had just ran a whole campaign called I'm a Mormon.
Я врач. Я Андрей Климаш. И я мормон.
Зовут Михаил Зарецкий. И я мормон.
Mein Name ist Christian Bolt und ich bin Mormone.
I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a Texan. I believe in serving others. My name is Eric Cooper, and I'm a Mormon.
At this point, they should probably just give up being called anything besides Mormon. Aside from those who have explicitly told us they are either ex-Mormon or are currently Mormon, a lot don't tell us because of the stigma attached to being Mormon. So why is it that so...
By the way, chat, I have had a lot of interactions with Mormons while I was at work, and they're some of the nicest people in the world. They believe some ridiculous fucking shit, but they are the nicest people ever. Also, all religions are cults. It's just a spectrum of cults, in my opinion. But I'm not against religions. Religions can be used for good things like giving people hope, giving people faith, and giving people structure, which is why I changed my thoughts on it over the last... Actually, I think it was probably about 5 years ago.
So many Mormons are successful influencers. But right before we get into that, let me just give you a really quick rundown of what a Mormon is. I'll make a whole video maybe one day about like the insanity of the history of Mormons and like Joseph Smith and stuff, but this will do for this video. Mormons believe in a thing called the Book of Mormon, which is essentially...
The everyday Mormons are nice people. The higher they go in the triangle, the more sketchy they get. Yes. Yes, 100%. I think it's the Mormon church has a rule that there has to be a witness for any sexual assault. No, Jehovah's Witnesses. Sorry to get Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses tied together. if I remember correctly, Jehovah's Witnesses, also a cult, they have a rule within the church that someone cannot be accused of sexual assault unless there is a witness, someone that is witnessing the sexual assault occurring. I was just looking it up, but there wasn't anything that I could bring up quick.
Essentially a DLC for the Bible. It is what God forgot to put in the last other versions that he did, or what the Pope has forgot to put in there. Essentially, Joseph Smith was told by the angel Moroni that there was gold tablets in his backyard that he had to read using a hat and this special stones called Uma Thurman or something. Since Mormons believe that their president is also a prophet with like God on speed dial, essentially they can patch out old beliefs like this one pretty quickly.
Those who remain neutral in the battle were cursed to be born with black skin.
Yep.
This is the Mormon explanation for the race.
I mean, it couldn't have taken that long.
Yep, that was real. Mormons thought black people were evil. Also, Jehovah's Witnesses also were hyper racist as well, which I found out. And that's a funny story. Remind me to tell you guys that story about Jehovah's Witnesses being racist, and I'll tell you the story. How I got the black card for 6 hours. It's a great story.
Long to get the patch notes on that one, right? All right. I don't think actually most Mormons believe most of these rules, especially the old ones. I mean, look at Taylor here.
No, I really don't know.
When I moved to Salt Lake City when I was in high school, one thing you definitely learn is that modest is hottest, or at least that's what the Mormon girls always said, except for when it came to athleisure wear. And you know what? I found that there's a lot of loopholes with Mormons.
Helping my Mormon friend with soaking.
But back to the topic of this video. How many influencers are Mormon? Honestly, it seems like
the butthole loophole too, chat.
Almost any time I find a new big influencer that I like, whether it be on TikTok or YouTube, they're Mormon. And those numbers become more inflated the moment you get into family lifestyle TikTokers or YouTubers. I mean, do you guys remember this lady, Nara Smith? Yeah, she made the rounds like a year ago because everyone was wondering what religion or whatever she was because she was making trad wife style videos. This lady got hundreds of millions of TikTok views. Like a Mormon psyop, she was invading your TikTok For You page, trying to destabilize you like you're Chile in 1973. There's actually this really good article by Stacey Lee Kong that goes over the whole stay-at-home mom thing that Nara Smith is promoting. Essentially, Stacey says being a stay-at-home mom is not easy. There's no stay-at-home moms switching dresses in the middle of a meal to finish their TikToks without getting a spot on it. I mean, come on, kids are messy.
Oh, we spilled a little, but that's okay. Oh, don't look at it. Oh.
I actually think there's probably several reasons Mormons succeed so much in the influencer space, but the number one is privilege. Most Mormons have more money than the average American. Most Mormons work for Mormons making more money. The Mormon Church is incredibly wealthy. At this point, it is more wealthy than the Vatican with something like $100 billion and owning like a giant chunk of Florida and several other states. The reason we're probably seeing so many momfluencers who are Mormon is because they're told to stay home. They're told not to have a job. Women are seen kind of as second-class citizens within the Mormon Church. And because of that, they want an outlet. Everyone wants a hobby or to work towards something. And social media is something that they can do from home without being seen as like a job or whatever, and they can stick to breeding, what the Mormon Church believes they're made for, which leads into a...
There's a high proportion of Mormons in the CIA, by the way. I mean, Mormons hire Mormons. So if there's like a higher up Mormon, that would make sense. Bro, I just watched a video by another person about this very topic. I wonder where this came from suddenly. I wish I knew who it was, though. LHS rated someone who was watching it. LDS rated someone who was watching it. Oh, no, I'm assuming it was a LHS is a content creator. Lesbian hot sauce. Oh. Are you saying you wonder where this topic of kind of pointing out that Mormons kind of are all over social media? Just an interesting factoid I read once. Well, it depends on where you read it. That sounds like a conspiracy theory. That like says that Mormons run everything. Which you can make that argument because it's actually Protestant evangelicals. Also, it wouldn't really be shocking. It's not a conspiracy theory. Oh, you're right. Oh, it's because they recruit from them because they're susceptible to fucking propaganda. That's why. That's why there's a shit ton of Mormons in the FBI and the CIA. So the other video is about how the Mormon church pays the Mormon influencers indirectly. That makes sense.
The next really important point that I'm going to let this lady explain.
I think one of the reasons that Mormons are so good at it, one, Mormons are really pretty. It's just a thing.
true.
Mormons are stunning. Mormons start popping out babies at 20 years old. There are not that many places where at 20 years old, you have 3 kids, a big ass house, and you're also blonde, stunning, and have big old yitties. You don't see that. Like, that is crazy. And so that's why people would.
By the way, chat, BYU, they do get married early so they can have sex. I caddied for somebody that was divorced, and he was a couple years younger than me, and he was married and divorced. And I'm like, so you did it just to have sex, right? And he goes, yeah.
Eat that up. The Mormon influencers also had this lifestyle that Americans love. We love seeing a young mom who's super hot, who has a big house. They had the perfect opportunity to dominate. People were fascinated. And so I think that's why the mommy blogger grew the way it did, is because it was exactly what Americans wanted to see.
This lady nailed it. She's right. This appeals to conservative men looking to bring things back to before women had rights, when a woman's job was to stay home, take care of the kids, and make more kids. It also appeals to the women who want that, who are duped by the idea of staying home and not doing anything while your husband takes care of you. The reality is women entered the workforce because that wasn't feasible. The system that we live in eventually chokes you out so that one income is not enough, because you can milk a lot more money out of 2 people than you can 1 person. And I'm back with a new set of clothes because it's been over a week since I started this video and there's a lot to put in it. But back to the point I was just making. Another really important thing to remember is that it's impossible to be independent without a job. Even if you do have a husband who can afford both of you, if you do not have your own income, a lot of times it's going to be hard to get your own place. And you might be stuck in a situation that sucks.
Based. Carter's based there. Because, like you said, corporations realize that you can milk a shit ton of money out of 2 incomes. Also, Plank, thank you for that factoid. But it totally makes sense because Mormons are susceptible to propaganda and everything. And I learned that from Carter here. So the other video is about how the Mormon church pays Mormon influencers indirectly, which you already said that, and I already said it. I already acknowledged it. Chat, I got streamer brain right now.
Let's look at another reason that Mormons are also very successful in this. Here is a girl who is Mormon explaining why she believes that Mormons are so successful at being influencers.
What is it? Are you guys all just creative, or is it just the audience there?
I think it's both, but there's also something I think about the Mormon culture, because I remember when, early 2000s, I was a child, there was like a push for women to journal. And when the internet came around, that was a thing that the leaders of the church kind of pushed out, was like for these women to almost use these blogs as a way to document. These girls started these blogs to document their life, and what it turned into is just people being like, oh, where did you get those jeans? From there, that's, you have an influencer who is able to push product and convert sales because they've built this trust with their followers.
This lady mentioning journaling being a reason is probably true, but the church actively actually looked to make more influencers, which is kind of crazy.
Story time. And for those unaware, I led and kicked off social media for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints from 2010 to 2012. So I had a little part in that. And go check out Alicia's video for a little more of the background. One of the values I saw for social media when I first started talking about it was the ability for members and leaders to be able to talk with each other the same way they did back in the times of Joseph Smith. At the time, we had a large number of bloggers and influencers and people just getting started on YouTube and elsewhere, starting to make names for themselves and build audiences online. And I saw an opportunity there to start building relationships with them, not just for getting more attention to the church's brand, but also from a PR standpoint, being able to help them speak the same language we were speaking. So I created a Facebook group. It was called something like LDS Journalists, Bloggers, and Influencers. I can get the exact name and maybe I'll post a picture of it. And started inviting all the influencer friends that I got to know over the years and that were still Mormon, active Mormon, and that were proponents of the church. We didn't invite people like John DeLynn because he was not a proponent. Sorry, John. And in this group, we give them special access to messaging and other things that we were getting ready to launch, things that we wanted them to share, things that we wanted them to talk about. And we started to build a community of these influencers that were all talking and communicating with each other. Now, I don't know what has remained since I left, but I know for quite a while that group still existed and people were still inviting friends and others into the group. And there was a good community of at least bloggers and some YouTubers that were all communicating back and forth, trying to figure out ways to help out the church. The question is, does that still exist? Now, a lot of this gets into Mormon belief, obviously, of why.
Jesus Christ, how fucking long are TikToks? What the fuck? I'm so glad I'm not on that platform. So glad I'm not on that fucking platform. Because there's just so much shit on there. I found the vid I was talking about. I'll post it if anyone wants to follow up on this topic with the other video. Thank you, SCow. I appreciate it. They could be 10 minutes now. What the fuck? That's crazy as fuck. Standing there and watching a video on your phone for 10 fucking minutes. That's nuts. That's nuts. Also, chat, the hat that Carter was wearing, it's called the Carter cap, and it's Cola Corporation, if you were wondering. Yeah, I remember when they added the 1 minute. Yeah. So chat, it's a cool hat. You have this hat, or you have this hat. It's just a cool hat for no reason. No particular reason at all. None. Carter's rude. Definitely a sharp hat. Yep. No particular reason why this hat is cool.
Wanting to share and spread the gospel of Jesus Christ and using the social media as a way to do that. But much of the reason that it is such a big deal on social media is because they talk to each other. In many ways, Mormons are a lot like the Jews in their network in that they speak to each other, talk to each other, network with each other. The only difference is the minute you leave Mormonism, you're gone from the network, which is basically what happened to me.
Okay, there's actually a lot to unpack in this video. Essentially, he is saying
the hat sucks. Sure. You can have that opinion. Your opinion's wrong. But yeah, sure.
That there is a lot of reason for Mormons to become influencers. Spreading the message of being a Mormon is incredibly important. It's probably why Mormons are so good at taking jokes, such as the Book of Mormon play, or a lot of times South Park has poked fun at Mormons, along with a lot of other media. He also mentioned something else, that there is a network of Mormons, and having that network helps you get your feet off the ground as an influencer. It is no secret to influencers or anybody who pays attention to influencer sphere that influencers are made by other influencers. You would be hard pressed to find an influencer who is not friends with somebody who was an influencer already. In the beginning, yes, people do pop up out of nowhere, but we are long past the beginning of social media, which there probably was a lot of Mormons in the start of social media blowing up as well. with the rise of YouTube and TikTok and everything, there's always been someone who was probably Mormon, just statistically, in the beginning. And they've also changed with trends, which is why I see a lot of very weird new Mormon TikToks like this.
We're just friends. So don't go look at me with that look in your
Huh?
Huh? F-I-E-N-D-S. We're just friends. So don't go look at me with that look. Huh?
So I guess anything to get new members in the door of the church at this point. It really does feel like Mormons are in every single type of content there is. And I'm actually not the first person to notice that Mormons have infiltrated pretty much every aspect of content creation.
Yes, they are, and so is every influencer you've loved for the past decade. Finally, a chance to share an elaborate diagram. I believe all Mormon influencers fall into one of these main three categories. One, luxury. These are the OG 2012 fashion bloggers who are still doing it and raking in the dollars. Focal points will be swipe ups during the Nordstrom anniversary sale, taking professional photos as they cross a busy street full of taxi cabs on New York Fashion Week, and home tours of their shoe closet, inside the regular closet, inside their cloffice. This category is obviously ruled by the Scala sister dynasty. Two is chill. It's about not trying too hard to look cool. This is terracotta earth-toned linen bedding, an Instagram full of refreshingly artistic film photography with a focus on imperfections and letting the moment be real. They are outdoorsy and like always in a hammock. Our chill queen is Amber. Others include JC Marie Smith and Sydney, formerly known as the Daybook. If you fuse these two categories, it's effortless glam. It's terracotta vibes and a makeup team in the birthing suite. It's Kara and Tent. And third, the energy category scares me the most. So many Instagram reels and letterboards and clickbaity videos with titles like 6 life hacks for taking 8 kids with broken legs to Disney World, with faces like
Wait. Why do all 8 kids have broken legs? What the fuck?
Screen grabs, you know? It's most obvious in this category that the internet is their revenue stream and their social media choices are driven by that. That's fine, however, questions are raised when so many of their money-making videos heavily feature personal details about their children, you know? It's Jordan Page, it's Shannon Bird, it's anyone with an MLM. And I do think there's a bubble within this bubble of the evangelicals, the ones that truly make Mormonism the core of their brand identity. It's Al Fox Caraway or Nini Dialogues. In between energy and chill is vibing enthusiastically. This is a big, powerful category. It's the big families, big energy, the outward appearance of having it all, and a cozy family night in the backyard or in Peru. Examples include the Bucket List family, the Divine family, Taza, and all the Hawaii moms. Last but certainly not least, energy luxury makes a chaotic public display of wealth. And you know who it is, right? Yeah, it's Turtle Creek Lane. I'd also put Sarah Tripp of Sassy Red Lipstick in here. You know, flaunting a bold lip and a fat wallet. And they're all Mormon, whether by their own public declaration or context clues.
Maybe I just had a life back then, but I don't know a single one of these people. But I don't doubt her. There is a lot of Mormons. And as I was making this video, I discovered a very big YouTuber is also Mormon. And I'm not talking about the CIA one. I'm talking about Jerry Rig Everything.
Speaking of CIA, Johnny Harris, Def CIA.
Which makes a lot of sense when you consider he's building an entire bunker. Mormons love two things. They love God and preparing for the end of the world or a bad day. And that is one of the several signs that people like myself use to identify Mormons. When you know what to look for, you notice they're kind of everywhere. Because I said at the beginning of this video, I have a Mormon sixth sense, and that Mormon sixth sense is just observing things that all Mormons do. Or at least most Mormons do, because as you've learned, not all Mormons follow the rules. All right, we've reached the part of the video where I kind of...
Is that Harris's CIA thing because of his content or some other bit of lore? No, it's because of his content. Because his content seems to whitewash a lot of shit, particularly CIA involved shit. Even though there's literally documents and everything. So, for example, one of his videos talks about the Chilean coup in 1973. And he just kind of glosses over it, saying the United States had nothing to do with it, despite the fact that there's literally unclassified documents that said the United States was definitely involved in it. However, Johnny Harris kind of has steered into this kid that he's CIA. He's made a couple jokes about it.
Explain what my issue is with this. And I don't really have one entirely, as I think that there's tons of religions that do bad things or go against their rules all the time. People are free to pick and choose what they want to believe or do. I'm not saying that all of these influencers are trying to recruit you to be Mormon or even going on promoting that they are Mormon. Johnny Harris made a whole video explaining why he left the Mormon church and kind of the insanity of the Mormon church. I'm just asking as to why. Why do they hide it? Why is it that being a Mormon is something that you hide when the idea is to recruit more people? And maybe it is because the Mormon church has lost its religious roots a long time ago and is much more of just a normal business operation now. Or maybe it's because they are ashamed and they are making content, like I mentioned earlier, to just secure financial freedom. I have my own personal problems with the church. The church led to several of my friends committing suicide when I was young, probably due to the fact that their families were Mormon and they were queer. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. Sorry it took a little bit long. Like I said, I'm trying to upload weekly, but sometimes videos get a little bit big. And this video probably will need multiple parts, as there's an entire sect of like MLMs that I should talk about in relation to the church and how they got all their money. The church is incredibly crazy in their history. Also, Johnny Harris never finished that really interesting series. Aside from that, if you like the video, subscribe, like it, whatever YouTubers tell you to do, and check me out on Twitch. I'm live every day at 7 p.m. PST over on twitch.tv/Carter. Bye-bye.
Chat. Click on the link, like the button, click to subscribe. Also, oh, fuck. Go check out Carter's page. Go check out Carter, chat. Do it.
Don't, because I'm killing you, bitch. I'm God. I'm God. Don't you hear that? Blah, blah. You're fucking dead.
Solid clip.
I own you.
All right, I'm heading to bed. It's 11 p.m. here. This was fun. I'll stop by when I can, when I'm off work. No problem, Angel. Appreciate you being in here. Hope you were entertained. Just like most of you are entertained by the top of the hour ad break. Because at the top of every hour, I run a 3-minute ad break. If you want to avoid the ads, you can pay $6 for a subscription. Or you can get lucky and get gifted a sub. Or you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Or you get lucky. You get lucky and get gifted a sub, or you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and get a free monthly subscription from Daddy Bezos. Hopefully you give it to your favorite streamer. Hopefully that's me. If it's not me, hopefully it's someone else like Plank. But here comes the 3-minute ad break now. He's a dick. Plank, it was a misunderstanding. The guy literally has Nazis come into his... Fuck, why didn't that work? He has Nazis come into his chat all the time. And he jumped down your throat. It's an accident. It happens. I fucking did that. I do that shit on stream all the time. There we go. Now it works. But chat, we're going to switch on over to Metal Gear Solid 5. However, I'm going to take a quick break because I have to take shit out of the dryer. So while this ad goes, I'm going to play a little bit of music with you, and then we are going to switch over to Metal Gear Solid 5. So I'll see you all in a little bit. Any mods in here, feel free to give shout-outs.
You have a child? Someone fucked it? Well, clearly he is not taking care of that child. Again.
Science has now validated your birth mother's decision to abandon you on a doorstep.
Oi!
Just piss on the wall, piss on the ground, the door, a bunch of piss comes out, you run away, up the stairs, you slide down a bunch of piss, slip and slide down the stairs, you just dead bodies of piss, and you gotta get your body picked, and it's icky, the icky dead body and the piss, the icky dead body and the piss in the train station, you're just like, oh, fuck, this is icky, oh, this is... Look at that, life free, baby. I'm a truthful boy.
5! He said 5! 4, 5! Stop! 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 You don't know how to count.
Yo! Yo! What are they doing to my boy?
Shoot. Did they arrest anybody? That was more than 5 cents.
Ugh. Oh boy. Yeah, there we go. Yes, the Gladius, yes. Let it free, Gladius. Let it all free.
The irony, the entrance to the underworld is... I don't read that fast. Gays? Where? Okay. I thought something was gonna happen because it sounded like there was like something flying.
Why did that scare me? Put it back. It's just a raccoon.
Way. This is the way. This is the way. Dropping metallic items now. Brother!
Bro, did we all...
Alright, I'm back. I hope...
Yo.
It has stuff.
Oh god, fucked up. That was ridiculous. I picked up a rope.
I hope you all enjoyed those clips of some of my friends. Please give them all a follow and go check out their streams. They are all wonderful people and deserve all the best. So it's time to switch on over to Metal Gear Solid 5. I gotta get it out of college football. How's the ad still going? How's the ad still going? I took so long to take that shit out of the dryer and load up my my baseball pants and my uniform. All right. There we go. Let's do this. Where were we at? The hell, why is there no... Why is there no sound? Fuck, why is there no sound? Shit. Shit. Give me a second, chat. Shit. I hope my capture card hasn't fucking died. The hell? Why is there no sound? Why is there no sound happening? Why is there no sound? Is there no sound coming from my PC at all? No. There's sound coming there. Oh, I'm dumb. I know why there's no sound. It's because I didn't switch over. Or not. What is happening? What is happening? Why isn't this working? Ugh. Ugh. Come on. Okay, so it's working on my TV. Is it the entire PC or the capture card? It's just the capture card. So it's working on my PC, which means audio is going through the capture card. TV, sorry, it's working on my TV. I have it on my other TV right now. But for whatever reason, capture card isn't going to my PC. Can you hear the audio yourself on the PC? No. Yeah, there's no sound coming at all. And now my keyboard is barely working. Bear with me, chat. Please bear with me. See, there should have been sound there. I might have to pull it from the back. Might have to pull the USB from the back because it said something about the USB wasn't correct or something like that. Give me a second, chat. Sorry again. USB device is not recognized. That's not correct. Did you restart the capture card? Yeah, I've done it twice now. Fuck. It says I probably got to restart the computer. I'd rather not do. All right, I'm gonna have some music on for you guys. Wish that notification would come up again. The last USB device you connected to this computer malfunctioned. Windows does not recognize it. Try reconnecting the device. If Windows still does not recognize it, your device may not be working properly. Fuck. That's bizarre. It's not showing. Now it's not showing at all. Fuck. I don't know how to update the drivers either. It literally just worked like 2 days ago. What model? The HD60X. Elgato HD60X. I did update my OBS, but I think that was before Friday's stream. So I don't think that would be the problem. That's crazy. It's like saying it's not hooked up to my PC at all. I think it was a bad cable, chat. Invalid output resolution? What? I also think I have a bad USB port too. Oh, shit. What the hell's going on? This isn't Friday. It's not Fridays with Kiko. Why am I having technical difficulties? fuck is going on? That was a positive sound? Not really. Not really. That was probably when I plugged my mouse USB cable back in. USB connected sound? USB disconnected? Well, yeah, I'm literally disconnecting it myself and reconnecting it. So I'm getting this screen here. It says HD60 does not support input signal upscaling. Please reduce the device output resolution. But this thing is supposed to do 4K, I think. It's supposed to be able to do 4K. Yeah, I was getting this when I was doing, you can do 4K, but not with upscaling. I don't think it's upscaling though. I've literally never had this problem before. Upscaling is where you take a lower resolution and try to add data to it to become higher resolution. Well, that doesn't make any sense because it's coming directly out of my PS5. Does Elgato have an option to allow upscaling? No, I don't think so. So the PS5 is trying to upscale? Maybe? It's never done that before. I feel like I just made shit worse. Do you have a high-speed cable? The current one's not a high-speed cable, but the original one that I had was a high-speed cable. It's USB-C though, but I thought like all USB-Cs are pretty much high-speed cables. Not USB, but HDMI. I have an 8K HDMI cable, and it's C on one end and the A on the other end. Because my computer does not have my computer does not have a USB-C input anywhere. I think the cable's bad. I just put in the I just put in the manufacturer's USB-C. Okay, make sure the AN is in USB-C 3, USB 3. It wasn't previously, but it's in now. There we go. All right, it's fucking working now. No audio still? No, there's audio. That's weird. That's really fucking weird. I didn't have a problem the whole fucking time. Whatever. It's in USB 3 now. Well, that was a waste of fucking 20 minutes. That was a waste of 20 minutes. We got to work it now, chat. Fucking unplugging cables and plugging them back in. Good audio now verified. Yeah. That's so bizarre. It did that weird thing because I switched back over to my extra display. Whatever, it's working. I basically unplugged shit and plugged it back in until it worked. I didn't do anything. All right. Maybe worth to get a PCIe USB-C card to run very high-speed devices like the capture card. Would I even be able to install that into my PC? I guess I could just add it in, right? Because then I could go straight USB-C to USB-C, right? Do you have anything other than the video card installed? Well, the video card's not installed. The video card is external. The capture card is external.
Plant expansion complete.
So. No, I mean your PC's graphic cards. I mean, my 4070 is all I have. Gotta get the helichopper.
A landing zone. Landing zone confirmed.
Roger. This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
There are multiple X8 slots, 1 8 or more X4 and 1 or more X1. Not sure what that means.
Gaining altitude.
Yeah, I have like 4 more slots under all that shit that I could probably install it. So there was that 4K. So there was that. I do have that 4K utility. Well, obviously it's not going to work now because OBS is using the capture card. Okay, whatever. SK, I just got your Discord. Yeah, that was the one I was looking at. Is this shit hard to install? Like, I just gotta pop off the back, plug it in, and it's good to go? Because I do have a USB-C to USB-C cord. It's an X4 card, so not the smallest port, but the second smallest, or an X8 or an X16.
Please
All right.
select a mission.
The X16 is the one your video card is in? Oh. So the slots that are in the bottom are like that big. So I'm assuming that's an X4 card. Trader's Caravan. Rescue the Intel agents. I don't think I've done this one. Pretty sure I did the extract the cargo. PF convoy is believed to be transporting as payment to Cypher. Cargo must be extracted along with the transport. Footprints of Phantoms. Eliminate all walker gears deployed. Did that. Blunder Roads Deep. I did all on the trail. I did voices. I just finished Retake the Platform, and we have to do the White Mamba. I said X1s, but you should have an X4 or an X8 on there. No, I think it's a bunch of... So the picture that's on that webpage that you gave me of the back of the PC, that's what I have available in the bottom. I have like 3 or 4 of those kind of wide slot things in the bottom.
Mission accepted. Heading to Central
White Mamba.
Africa.
All right. Let's get quiet. Gold or gray fox? Gray fox? Damn. She's really gold. Holy shit. They also happen to have many PCI channels. God damn.
Deploying.
The White Mamba.
Capture the White Mamba, the child soldier's commander, and bring him back to Mother Base. First off, head for Voila Yamasa.
Enemy combatants, child soldiers. What the fuck? Eli, the White Mamba. God damn, I gotta fight child soldiers now. There we go. We'll talk about that later, so we make sure you do have room for an X4 card before you buy one. Yeah. Also, I know it's relatively cheap, but I just spent a shit ton of money on shit the last week. Money I don't have, unfortunately. I feel that, yeah. I mean, I did just buy a $1,300 aviation headset. And then I had to pay $120 for an app to allow me to see airplane traffic while I'm flying. And then I had... Oh, and then I spent money on flight lessons and shit.
Please select a deployment point.
I spent tons of money on food because I didn't have any groceries. My fridge was full of rotten food until Friday. Yeah, I get that, as cow.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Fucking A. Oh, it's a fucking child?
Has infiltrated our map has been updated.
Oh my god, they're fucking children? Jesus Christ, I can't shoot these tranquilizers on children. They're my... Oh my god, they just took me out. The children took me out. Not just that, the food I bought left me hungry. And for a fraction of the price, I could eat well. Yeah. Fuck. Alright, what do I gotta do for this mission? Extract the White Mamba without giving him an opportunity to exist. Extract 20 child soldiers. Oh, I could do that. Why is this so expensive to be poor? Because... cheap things are usually cheap and don't last. However, I buy higher quality stuff so it lasts, but it's expensive up front, but in the long term, it's better. Isn't there like a saying that a working man should buy like $70 boots because the $20 boots he'll go through? He'll end up paying like $90 of boots in the period of time that it takes for the $70 boots. I don't think it's a saying. I think it's just kind of a description.
If you're gonna use CQC on this,
Limit it to throws and punches. Oh, they don't want me slitting the throat of... They don't want me slitting the throat of the kid. Right, I paid $200 for my shoes 11 years ago? Yeah, exactly.
subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Quiet. Fucking get in position and do something, damn it.
Please select a deployment point.
Oh, of course she can't. But no, I mean, rent is expensive as fuck. Then I live in a place where I can go 2 weeks with no power and can't do anything about it. Yeah. I kind of like the idea of making sure that this stream becomes something I can do full time, and I'll make you my full-time IT guy. Sounds like a pretty great plan to me. I was talking to John about that. Getting my channel big enough that we both have full-time jobs.
Guard post captured.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Extract him.
There was resources here, wasn't there? I thought there was trailers here.
Enemy presence detected. What is extraction?
Your target, the white mom that showed up in this village out of the blue, and took command of the child soldiers. The surrounding villages have been victims of their raids and brutality ever since. But if you extract their...
No, I mean, John and I could pay for some remote management software up front and support streamers. We do patching, AV backups, general troubleshooting for a price. That'd be cool.
If things get rough, neutralize them by knocking them out or by tranquilizing them.
But the remote management you wouldn't be able to do hardware shit though. You'd have to actually like go to their places, right? I mean, it's kind of like the same thing to, you know, avoid the top of the ad break. You got to be in here, physically in here, because I run at the top of every hour. And it's about 3 minutes worth, and I do it to avoid pre-roll ads for any new viewers. If you want to avoid the ads, you can pay $6 for a subscription. Or get lucky and get gifted a sub, or link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and get free Daddy Bezos money for a free monthly subscription. But here comes the 3-minute ad break now. I don't know if that was a good or a bad one. I can't tell.
You have arrived at your destination.
I couldn't do hardware now, but I could remote in and take care of drivers or configure networking equipment, send it out, do Windows updates, software updates. How many streamers would... I guess there would probably be a lot of streamers that'd be okay with it because they're not savvy enough to be like, hey, it's probably not a good idea to like allow people to remotely get in. I also don't know if the market would be big enough for that. We'd have an actual contract where we could take on the responsibility of attack as long as they listen to our advice. So if they do everything we request, we would be responsible. That's fair. The fuck? Also, they 100% don't allow you to grab a child's body so you don't kill it on purpose. Oh, also the visual of choking out a child is probably not great. Oh, what the fuck? Thank you, Fossabot. It is. We would just charge per agent, so it could be like 20 a month. That's not bad.
Okay, subject is in.
I just don't know if you'd have enough, though. Because, like... So, like, my previous meteorology job, I made $4 grand a month. So, $4 grand a month, you would need 200 streamers. You think you get 200 streamers to pay $20 a month?
Caution, rain approaching.
This is what we do for work. I understand it's what you do for work, but I'm saying, would you, like, if you're strictly, like, streamers, right? Would you... Take him out, quiet. Nah, we could take on other clients, but we'd make market streamers. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you could probably do it. You just have to figure out, like, the legalese with all the contracts and everything, and then build the software itself and whatnot.
Marker placed.
Oh, I gotta get to the crack.
Marker placed.
Gotta get the crack, chat.
You have arrived at your destination.
Also, SK, I apologize. I haven't gotten to the video that you shared with me on Discord yet.
You have arrived at your destination. Marker placed.
Oh, LOL, it's okay. Just me talking about you. My software auto-clipped it. Yeah, so is it auto-clipping software? So you have it running while you're playing a game off stream? Or have you been streaming and I didn't get any notifications?
You have arrived at your destination.
Is the Steel Series sonar? If it recognizes the game has a feature that will monitor if you laugh or get excited, it'll auto-clip. That's pretty cool. I walk right over that kid. God, it's so weird shooting child soldiers. Have we gotten to 20 yet?
He's coming too. Roger that.
So yeah, John and I were playing TFD. And I was telling him about what you said on your stream. We both laughed, and then later I saw a clip of me laughing about it. So sent it. Okay.
You gotta extract him. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Pedina ange yandi, yina yabo kebangaka, nyoke yampembe.
Lord of the Flies reference with the pig head there, chat.
Kimamosa ke somomononde.
For example, I went to call my ISP earlier, so I took my headphones off. Sophie and John were talking about me because they were laughing and clipped it. So now I have evidence of them talking smack. That's funny.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Fuck you, kid. Fuck is he? I hear him. I feel like I need to restart this mission. I don't think I extracted 20 kids. Unless White Mama counts as one of the kids they extract.
Capture the White Mamba, the child soldier's commander, and bring him back to Mother Base. First off, head head for Voila Yamasa.
Also, it's kind of fucked up that Quiet's in that blood outfit for this mission to scare the shit out of the children.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
God, this is so weird. Oh, this is like the IDF. This is like IDF simulator. Shooting all the children. Except I'm tranking them though. The IOF shoots them with actual bullets. 1, 2.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Guard post captured.
3. 4. 5.
'Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
6. 7. 8.
You gotta extract him.
Extract White Mamba without giving him the opportunity to resist. What does that mean? I had 7 child soldiers.
Please select a deployment point. Enemy presence detected. The map extraction arrived
Your target,
at
the
Mother
White
Base.
Mamba, showed up in this village
8 children.
out of the blue and took command of the child soldiers. The surrounding villages have been victims of their raids and brutality ever since. But if you extract their commander, those kids will have no choice but to stand down. Should wrap up the whole
Buddy
situation.
has infiltrated our map
They're still
has been
kids.
updated.
You can't kill any one of them, including the commander. If things get rough, neutralize them by knocking them out or by tranquilizing them.
destination.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Dude, it's kind of fucked up and violent. Doing that shit to children.
The map has been updated.
You gotta extract him. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Enemy equipment detected. The map has been...
You don't see me? Yeah. Oh, what a shot through the stairs.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Extract him.
They're gone.
Okay, subject is in.
So how do I take in the white mamba without any resistance? Oh, fuck.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. He's coming too. Roger that.
All right, 20 kids extracted. how do I extract the white mom but no resistance?
Caution, rain approaching. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Oh, there he is. The fuck? How am I getting a worse angle? Oh, that's the pig head. How the fuck? It said north. It said you can hit him from the north side. Oh.
The map has been
That looks like the
updated.
target.
Got him.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Wait, I definitely hit him. I didn't hit him.
The sun will rise momentarily.
I definitely fucking hit him. Oh, I killed him. I took him out. Time paradox.
Boss, they're just kids. What did you do?
Whoops.
The mission is a failure.
Whoops.
The sun will rise momentarily.
It'd be cool if I could have Quiet do it.
Please select a deployment. Please select a deployment point.
Oh. He's already asleep. Fuck.
So that commander thinks he can take you on. Use your train gun, CQC, anything you like. Teach him.
God damn it. God damn it. Revolver shot. Shaska.
Fire! Fire!
Get him quiet.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
So that commander thinks he can take you on. Use your train gun, CQC, anything you like. And teach him a lesson already.
The fuck? I hit him. I hit him, chat. I hit him. He should have went down.
Clouds approaching. Caution, rain approaching.
Fuck.
So that commander thinks he can take you on. Use your trank gun, CQC, anything you like. Teach him a lesson already.
God damn it. Found a bag of fire cheese puffed Cheetos. I hadn't opened. I have some ramen, so I was able to make some food. Nice. Wait, did you just get food? I thought you've been back in your place for a week now. I haven't bought groceries yet because I just finished cleaning out the food Friday. Then I cleaned the fridge this morning. Okay. Fuck, he walked out. I got home last Friday, but I didn't have room in the can. And trash day is Friday for us. Oh, okay.
Looks like school's out. All you need to do is carry him to the LZ.
Mission info. Support helicopter requested.
Got him.
Arriving shortly at LZ.
Come on, quiet.
This is Pequot. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
That was weird. Oh, he's got the conch too? Holy Lord of the Flies, Batman. Never be game over. Nice. Where's quiet? Sit the fuck down, kid. Like he owns everything.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Mission complete. I guess it all worked out in the end.
You're damn right it worked out. Oh. Wait, how did I get a legendary soldier if all the people I extracted were children? The fuck? What a little shit.
Welcome to outer heaven.
What the fuck? Fucking broke the kid's arm? Fuck is wrong with him?
We got rules around here. Never draw a weapon on a fellow soldier. You got that?
Got that. Oh, he dislocated it. He didn't break it. He dislocated it to fucking disable him.
Anyone here can use a knife or a gun. What you're gonna learn is how to use your head.
All right, Dad.
Let's move. When you get that under your belt, then you're free to leave.
Whoa. Oh, man. I think that's going to be it for tonight, chat. I'm a little beat. I'm very beat, actually. So I'm going to wrap it up. I will be live again tomorrow, but I will be late. It'll be after 6 p.m. Maybe it'll be 7, but we'll see. Sticking the fork. Yeah. Sticking the fork in me. I'm done. I think it'll be closer to 7. I could probably stream early in the morning before work, but I'm actually going to do my piloting ground school stuff. So So I'm going to keep working on that so I can get my pilot's license sooner rather than later. And maybe do some airplane flying content. But we'll see. Dairy Gumbies. That's what I was looking at. I was thinking Gumbies. I was thinking Gumbies because I hit up Dairy. I hit up Dairy last week. So yeah, we're gonna go to Gumbies. Celebrate his affiliate. So chat, here are the rate messages. First one is for those that are not subbed. Second one for those that are subbed. Bossabot doesn't have a sub. I'll figure that out. But yeah, chat. So this was a fun little stream. I apologize that it's not my typical 4 hours or longer like I normally do, but I've been up since about 10 of 6 this morning. I drove 5 hours and I played 2 baseball games. So that's going to be it from me tonight. So wherever you're at in the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. See y'all tomorrow.